I'm looking at a chart of the GDPs of the biggest economies in the world. Now, if you look carefully at this chart, Japan's GDP is exploding, presumably because of the Olympics, but I think it's problematic. Think about what happens when you host an Olympics. You got to set up all this infrastructure. The local businesses have to hire a lot of temporary staff, right? Think about it. You sign up for a job where you're going to work for a few weeks and then you're going to be fired, and then you're going to have to scramble to find other work opportunities, right? You might have to have training right before the job, and then you lose all the benefit of that training after 3 weeks, right? You build all this infrastructure that then has no practical use after that, at least for another 60 years before you get to host another Olympics. I know Japan has hosted before. Now, tell me, does that mean any future growth? Now look at India. Right now their GDP is soaring because they got to build hospitals and clinics and vaccination sites. Does that sound like productive growth to you? I'll let you ponder about that. Germany's GDP is falling, which is kind of surprising because right now we have a shortage of cars in the United States, and if we needed to get rid of one of these countries, Germany would be the last one I would be thinking about. I'm kind of nervous about my car dying any moment. It's already gotten 110,000 miles on it. It could die any moment, and I don't want it to die when car prices are high. You see, a lot of people get excited when the value of their home is really expensive, right? That's the time to be nervous, because if anything goes wrong in your home, it's going to cost you a fortune, not to mention your property taxes. So even though I own a used car and used car prices are going up 100%, 200%, that scares me, because if anything goes wrong with my car right now, that's a huge expense. I've been driving a whole lot more conservatively, a whole lot less. Just the other day, I wanted to go to a theme park, and I almost thought about taking a Greyhound there instead of driving there, just given how big a hassle would be for my car to go up. So what's the point of this video? My point is that GDP measures how frantic people are to trade things, right? So for example, a couple weeks ago when people got into a fight over Pokemon cards at a Target and they had to stop selling it, when people were paying $100 a Pokemon card, that got recorded in the GDP. It's the same Pokemon card, right? And it got reported in the GDP. When people are busy poisoning themselves with fast food, during the dot-com bubble when everybody ate out all the time. I remember my family and we used to love going out to eat. My mom was 7 months pregnant, and she felt guilty for me because all the attention was on her pregnancy, and we went out to eat almost every day for a period of time. Granted, it was during the dot-com bubble. Now, eating out at fast food restaurants when you're 7 months pregnant is definitely not good for the long-term sustainability of a country, but that got counted in the GDP. So what do I think should get counted in the GDP? Scrap it. I think the real measure of our well-being is our actual well-being in terms of our life expectancy, in terms of our quality-adjusted life expectancy. Let me give you an example. In a few months, I'll be old enough to run for the President of the United States. I still get people who, especially girls, who are interested in me, and I can't even legally to do anything with them, right? That's my real GDP, right? The money in my pocket, the money in my bank account, that's only a tool for me to get there. Anyway, thought I would point that out.